kind of force in Ghana. I don't know how forceful it's going to be or how impactful his campaigns or let's just get into the video. I don't want to talk too much because it's about him, not about me.
I'm very excited to have our next guest in the studio here, aren't we, Sarah?
Yes, you're welcome. Nana Kwame Bediako is the founder of the New Force. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
How have you been?
Thank you.
How have you been?
Very well. A lot going on, but, we're very strong and we're focused.
When you say there's a lot going on, what exactly?
I'm just saying that, I haven't seen myself that much all over in newspapers, on TV, social media, and it's impressive for me. But also, there are a lot of...
So those of you who don't know this guy, this guy has a very lavish lifestyle, I'll try and put a video of his social media. I don't know if he's changed it now, but he has a very lavish lifestyle that he lives. He's been featured on or Selling the Sunset. It's a U.S. real estate documentary series, not documentary, and he has tigers and lions and leopards and zebras. And I don't know. He has those tigers, those cats in his house, but. And yeah, he's kind of like he sees himself as the son of Africa or something like that.
Positive and negative stuff, and you have to manage it and be focused and just follow what you want to do. Your vision is more important.
I mean, for the past few days, you've been availing yourself to scrutiny by the media. We've seen that you've been doing a lot of interviews here and there, opening yourself up for all kinds of questions to be asked of you. How was that?
So I also just to get up, I think this interview came up after he had a show cancelled in Ghana at the Independence Square. So he's kind of having a media tour. It was a 1 week intense media tour that he did in Ghana, a very intensive one. He went to all the popular media houses in Ghana.
Been going? Well, I just decided to have a media tour, and I thought that it's best that I open up to the country. I share my message with them. So the questions that people have for me as well, I can answer them. That's one. Two, I also thought that.
Also, guys, just to let you know, this is one interview. I'm going to be reacting to his other interviews to see whether there are some consistency and inconsistency in his answers, to see where he's going to lie. Because to be a good liar, you need to be able to say the same thing over and over again, so it becomes a new truth. If he's able to do that, then we know, okay, I'm not saying he's a liar, I'm saying maybe his message is, he knows what he's talking about. But if he says something and he says something in another interview, I'll surely pick it up. I'll surely do. If you do as well, you just let us know why.
It's good that I go to all these media platforms in the country, so I can have the opportunity of them sharing their platform with me, whilst I am able to share with people what they want to find out about the New Force movement and all the other things that is circulating this very historic moment.
The New Force movement.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Where did it come from?
I'm sitting right here. I've unveiled myself already to the nation. My political strategy and my campaign has not only just been done by me, but with my entire team. We've worked together. We've made sure that whatever that we're presenting out there or sending.
So just to let you know, from what I've observed with his whole political campaign, so he has a whole advertising agency that helps him with his marketing and pushing his message across, and they mostly make use of what is it called, Twitter and out of home, like those billboards and stuff like that. So in terms of that, he has a competent, I believe he has a competent advertising agency and creative agency behind him, and he also sought advice from political people who are already in the political sphere, who feel like he can give the NDC and NPP a run for their money. That's what I think.
To the people, the message, they should be able to embrace the message. We thought that is greater vision to let people understand that they should never just look at the messenger, but they should really listen to the message. And hence, that's why the mask was just...
Hello, guys. The problem with not looking at the messenger and looking at the message makes it difficult. So the thing is here, people didn't believe the prophet or even Jesus to be the savior because the messenger wasn't dressed like the message. Because that's why you have people disbelieving and stuff like that. But that's how God works, though. That's how God works. But yeah, but still, we always look at the messenger before we look at the message. So if you are, let's say, someone like Steve Jobs or Mark or someone comes tell you about an investment proposal, you're like, okay, yeah, this guy is solid because you're looking at the messenger. So and he's talking about investment because you know these people have money, that's what they talk about. But yeah, you get I don't know if you are getting the lines right. So this guy lives a very lavish lifestyle and he shows that he has a soft life and all that. And he's not your typical Ghanaian. He doesn't live like a typical Ghanaian. So definitely we are going to look at the messenger first before we say, should we work with this messenger? Before we look at the message he's bringing, he gets it.
It's the beginning of everything.
I see. This whole presidential bit thing, is it a publicity stunt?
Why would I be doing a publicity stunt at this point of my life? Do you think I need any more fame or popularity? Do you think
You see what I said? He already has Ghanaians know him like he doesn't do anything for free. Everything he does is a publicity. It's a publicity stunt, so he doesn't need it anymore. When he gives you 10 CDs, he needs the whole or every news outlet writing about it. So he will record it and all that. So he already has that reputation of making everything about publicity for him. So he really doesn't need any more. If he needs more, he'll just do a donation or something or give someone something and record it. He really doesn't need one right now.
fame is going to pay me? Why would I be pulling a publicity stunt? I am on a mission and I have a vision and I am coming to help build my nation, build my country. And I'm very serious about that. I have woken up as a leader. Some people might think I'm a politician. I do not know any.
Guy, wow. This guy. I don't know. I just have a lot of questions like, bro, this guy has been in the Ghanaian sphere for like close to 10 years now on social media. Close to 10 years now. And he's been doing a lot of charity works. Don't get me wrong. I've been seeing a lot of donations and stuff like that. But you know, all of a sudden, man, you want to be a leader. All of a sudden. I don't think it's all of it, but he has already been thinking about it for the longest time. But like, yo, man, yo.
Anything about politics, and I haven't been in your world, and it's not in my interest to get up and say I'm going to have a publicity stunt just to be in the circles of politicians.
You want to be president?
Yes, I have decided to be, because it's the only way for us to have access, power, authority to shape the country and shape the.
So from what I'm hearing, yeah, this guy has wealth, he has money, he has that. My dad have power. Politicians are not his riches. I don't want them. Maybe the president of Ghana. I won't. I will say he might be richer than the president of Ghana. Because why wouldn't he be? Why can't he be? But even the president of Ghana is rich. But I'm just saying they have power. You can be richer than someone, but if the person has more authority over you, the person is better than you. They call the shots. You just have money, and they can use their shot to even take your money from you. You get it? So power and wealth are two different things, but just that they work hand in hand. So he has wealth, but he doesn't have any authority. Any politician can shut down anything he has, and he won't be able to say anything.
Nation the way it's supposed to be, to create the kind of jobs that would create a middle class people. And we all can live a better life this way. We don't want 1% of Ghana being successful and 99% struggling. I certainly think it's not fair.
You think you have what it takes to be president?
I do have what it takes to lead a nation or to lead people. I have started on a very small scale from the businesses that I've created.
So this guy kind of, he doesn't remind me of Trump, but he's playing the kind of Trump thing. Because he hasn't been in politics, he has never been in politics, so this is his first shot. And Trump used politics to grow his business his private business while he was a president or even after him being president. And he created a lot of connections and relationships while he was in office. And I feel like that's the same thing this guy wants to do. Like other people who are not businessmen, like former presidents, when they are done with presidency, they are out. It doesn't benefit them in any way because they have no reason to interact with any diplomat or anything. But this guy has a business to run, man. He has profit to be made. So it will benefit him more than it will benefit any ordinary presidential aspirant.
But there's a saying that the little can become 1,000, and the small people can become a nation, a strong nation. So we all have to understand that we came to this earth without knowing some of the things that we know now. But as we were growing, we started exploring and we started expanding, and exponentially, we all came up with different characters and different visions, different mindsets, and different achievements. So I don't like to underestimate my own capacity. And
I think at this point, he's just becoming a philosopher, man. That's all. And people speak a lot of gibberish, man. There's no sense in what he just said. Like,
I don't like my capacity to also undermine my ability. I just believe that what should be done that I can do, that many people cannot do, I should not have a doubt just because many people cannot do means that you can't do it. And those who think it shouldn't be done or cannot be done should not get in the way of those who are doing it.
So what are the contributions that you've made to this country that people should look to you and say, okay, this is a man that can lead us?
I haven't made that much contributions, but the little I've done is very visible. There are landmarks development. At my age,
let him land here.
Little I've done is very visible. There are landmarks development. At my age, I expect to have a lot more competitors who are also Ghanaians doing the same, but the system is not allowing them. And I'm not also saying that I am the best in doing what I'm doing, but I can see clearly that in my 30s, I decided to introduce industrialization, to build a manufacturing hub and an industrial hub that would be able to support the entire country by, cutting the importation that is deregularizing our economy.
Yeah, this is where I have a problem, man. This guy is into real estate, guys. So when you are into real estate, it means you need to import a lot. And this guy has been into real estate for more than 10 years now, man. So if he is trying to cut importation, like, don't get me wrong, but in real estate, you need to import a lot. A lot of things need to be shipped from outside if you really want to get the kind of quality that you want to price at. No one is going to buy, or some people might buy a penthouse or an apartment in Ghana with all the furnishings being local products. No, most of the local product won't have the quality of you demanding even $1 million for a penthouse. Like I'm just giving an example. Like real estate requires you to import a lot. You need to import most of the things you have to import them. You can't do all the finishes with local products. For some of the things you have to import them. So real estate were actually part of them for increase the import was look they can't do away with making the importance. Now some of the things just can't be made in Ghana. You just need to import them. But I don't know what he's talking about. Given that he's a real estate investor, I don't know how he's going to reduce import and stuff like that.
Economy, and then
Like real estate is one of the biggest industries in Ghana, and all they do is export. No, all they do is import. They import a lot, a lot, a lot. So, and they spend a lot too. So,
pushing with exportation so I can create distribution channels and create jobs and create economic prosperity. But I was doing this in my 30s. I also decided to build.
yeah, guys, this is another issue I have with him. He wants to use his age as something. Like he was doing this in his 30s, he was doing this in his 20s, he was doing this. He's telling us that, basically telling us that he's young. Yeah. So if you were doing this in your 30s, it means you are not like the ordinary Ghanaian. Like just 0 point something percent of the normal Ghanaian will be able to do this in their 30s, man. So if you are trying to rub this in our face, they are not doing us any justice. Just position yourself as a young person or as a Ghanaian or something, but don't tell us you. Let's just go on, man.
Developments from residential to commercial to national and even industrial. So I've done all these 4 sectors of development in the real estate sector. And I realized that I had to get
Real estate, man. Real estate. He said it.
my own architects. I had to hire them. I had to hire engineers. Even though I'm not the one that knows how to draw, I found the people that did it well. I'm not the one that is able to find what to do with the steel as an engineer or the electrical power, but I found those people as well. And I put all of them together and I realized that I started creating wealth and I started building communities. So for me, that is my little contribution. But if that is what I want to claim to be a president, then I'll say I'm lying. I just think that if this can be done by a lot more younger people who are coming and be inspired, we already...
The thing is, this can inspire a lot more younger, but a lot more younger people can't do it. We are inspired by it. We feel like, yeah, we should be able to do such a thing as by the time we are or something. But we can't. It's not realistic. It's not realistic for 99% of Ghanaians. 99.9% of Ghanaians. It's not realistic, man.
Would be moving somewhere, a step. But I don't also see that currently with the national governance, that their support. In fact, I can boldly say that I have never had a thank you or well done from any leader of this country.
Now we see their egos at play here, man. So after all this things that he's done, he expects people, Ghanaians, to say thank you or well done to him. My friend, this is your personal business, man. You did your personal business. You built a real estate empire. And you are the only one benefiting from it. You pay your taxes, yes, as everyone does. You made your profits just like a businessman. You didn't share it. And why do you expect people to say thank you or well done? It's your business. Why do you expect us to say well done to you for doing something that you want to do? Yes, it's inspiring, but there's no one cares, man. You did your thing for yourself. If you think people will see it and say, oh, this guy, well done for who does your apartment benefit aside the rich people in the world? No, then ordinary Ghanaian doesn't benefit from it. So well done for what, man? Like, for what? You are doing it for yourself. It's not like a government project. It's for your own benefit. So what are you talking about, man?
That this is a great landmark for you to have built.
Okay, I get that he owns the number 1 Oxford Street, a very nice building in Osu. It's a landmark, alright, but Osu didn't need that building. The building needed Osu. You get it. Osu was already booming. Osu was a big place before that building came along, man. So I don't know why such a building. You deserve applause for that building, man. You are the only one benefiting from that building, man. No Ghanaian will go outside the country and say, yo, this building is in Ghana. Like, it's nothing. No one even knows about it outside Ghana. So what are we talking about here?
In this country. Well done.
But would that mean anything to you? I mean, if the president or
Yeah, that's why I said like the ego thing. If these people give him a sense of like they kind of acknowledge what he does, I think it will really mean a lot to him. You feel he has really done a lot for himself, but actually these people don't really care about you, man. They don't care about you. None of what you do even moves them. They are interested in power, not your material stuff.
major player in government?
And that's what these people are going to use to suppress him anyways, though. They are going to find ways to suppress him because he doesn't have any political background or anything. He doesn't know. He knows people, but he's not that connected, man.
So politicians said, oh, thank you for doing this or thank you for doing that. Thank you for putting up number 1 Oxford Street and all of that. I mean, what would that really do for you?
It will give you moral support. Moral support sometimes is...
It will boost his ego. That's why he say it will literally boost his ego, man.
More important than financial support. I'm sure you're wearing a nice suit, you look very nice, and you speak great grammar. I'm sure people have acknowledged you and about how you dress and how you speak. And that is part of the reasons why you believe that you're on the right track. So we need that.
I think there's a life lesson to be learned here as well. That no one gives a shit, man. No one cares about you. So if you are doing your thing, just do it. Because when it goes well, you are the only one who benefits from it. When it goes bad too, it's all on you, man. So no one gives a shit, man. No one gives a shit what you can do, what you've done for yourself. No one gives a shit. Because it's no one. We all have our own problems that we are dealing with, man.
I think our people should not pull us down. They should uplift us when we do great. After all, the greatest people were not born great, but they grew great. And I want to inspire all the youth that this is the way we should be thinking. We shouldn't go against the best of ourselves. We should rather uplift ourselves when we're doing best so we can do more.
And you talked about, wanting to do industrialization, putting up an industrial hub and all of that. Where have you done this and what kind of impact has that had on the country, in terms of the job creation, in terms of...
Yeah, that's what we are talking about. I think the impact is important because if you do something that benefits only you and the few people that you're giving business to. Mind me, I've heard this guy say he has a whole ecosystem of companies that he owns and they work hand in hand with me. No money goes to any person outside his ecosystem. But he still provides jobs, I'm sure. But let's see what kind of impact he has.
Even contributing to this country's economy and all of that?
Well, I started from Takrady. First of all, the acquisition alone took me 3 years. I think that a lot of young people will probably not understand acquisition when I say this here. But
why won't you understand acquisition? Acquisition is an English word, it's not a real estate word. We're like, we are not that dumb, man. Acquisition is acquisition, no matter where you use. I acquired a land, I acquired a car, I acquired a property. Whoa, man.
Acquiring a land and making sure.
Bruh. It's acquisition, man. There's not
it becomes yours in a legit primacy. You would need to do a lot of things. I had to put 65 families together, 11 chiefs and 1 subdivisional chiefs, an entire commission, and it took me 3 years to buy just the land as a 2,000-acre parcel. And then when I had to put the master plan...
That's impressive. 2,000 acres, man. Multiply that by 4 and you're going to get 8,000 plots of land. That's massive. That's impressive.
Together, I had to bring in about 12 architects, 16 engineers, and different types of people, and I had to do research. This took me...
All this is saying, it's not like he had to do them because this guy won't have time to go and be searching for architects. He has a team helping him. He'll just tell people what to do and they'll do it for him. That's how money works. Just saying, man. Because I've seen rich people, millionaires, and they don't do this, but they have people who help them do it and they trust those people's judgments and then they go with it.
A long time just to get into the first phase. And then after, you have to go into the basic infrastructure. That is you cutting the roads. That is you doing all of that stuff. So basically, all of these processes that we have to go through just to start an industrialization is taking us years. Just to build one factory is taking us years.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with it taking you years to build a factory. It takes years in Europe and America to build factories. It's not an African thing. I don't think it's an African thing.
Not only the arrangement, but also the investment, the commitment. It's a lot to do. And sometimes you need support. You need the government endorsement. You need the nation's support. You need the average investor to be a part of all of this to make it happen. The point is, how easy do we think one can do all of this even if they had the vision? What they go through. The EPA permits, the construction permits, all the investment that you have to do, and yet you're not being uplifted by the people who are surrounded by you.
Uplifted means being someone sending a message saying, well done, you are doing a great job, that kind of thing. That's what it means by upliftment, not the financial. Because in terms of finance, this guy once said somewhere, I don't know where he said it, that you got a loan from the World Bank or IMF was happy to build one of his build projects. Even he doesn't need the money, he just needs a powerful man to say, "Yo, thank you, well done." That's all he needs to fill his ego up. But they are not going to give him that pleasure. So he should continue doing his good works and make his own money, and I think life will go on.
Let me give you a scenario in America. You have some great leaders like Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all of these people. These guys are published every month in the Forbes. The Americans are trying to tell the world that
these guys are published every month in Forbes. You think it's free? You think it's free? There's a whole team trying to make sure that, because these people, when their reputations are damaged here, the stock prices, which are in the trillions, are going to drop. So there's a whole team handling that. You have no stock investments, you have no impact on the Ghanaian economy. So Bill Gates and Mark have a whole team handling their PR and stuff like that. So yeah, and anything they see, anything they do can cause the whole recession in the whole world. So I think the comparison is different, but let's see what point is trying to.
We have the most billionaires, the most successful people, and the more they promote them, the more they uplift them, the stronger they become, and the more they conquer the world.
I don't think that makes them strong. Recently, these Mark and his other CEOs were on called by the U.S. Senate for a year. It doesn't uplift them. It stresses them, because they hate the lawmakers. They hate the lawmakers in America because they make their business. They are trying to sabotage their business. Not sabotage, because Facebook has its way of making the whole human mind, like it affects our social life basically. And these people are trying, not only Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, all these things. They have impact. They impact our lives. So they have a hearing whereby they ask them question on what you are doing, and most of the things that they ask them a question on, if Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat stops doing those things, or TikTok stop doing those things, it's going to affect their profitability. You get it? It's going to really affect them. So they are also trying to find ways of making this happen for themselves, man. It's not any form of upliftment.
When you come to Africa, we find any ways and means to pull down from Dako Farms, who was one of my mentors when I was growing up. I learned from him. I wanted to be a poultry farmer, and I was inspired by him. Today, there is no one chicken of Dako Farms in Ghana. Everything that he started has been destroyed and pulled apart. It's not that it's been inherited by his children or by the nation. I believe that my inheritance will come to Ghana. It won't just be for my children.
This guy owns properties in the US, though. He owns properties in the US. I no longer have my Netflix subscription, but like he was featured in Selling the Sunset. It's a Netflix documentary which I watched in 2020. And I saw him there, man, in 2020. This is like 4 years ago, man. He owns a whole apartment in LA. I think LA is where the sun, yeah, I think something like that. He owns a whole house, not an apartment, a whole house, man.
Inheritance that I'm going to leave behind would even pass and go across the borders of Ghana, and it would go to Africa. It would reach people. That is my vision. I want people to not just remember me that I came here to become successful. I came here to build a nation and make the nation find a way to succession. And this is important for me.
What has been the response to all of this that you're doing? The presidential bid, especially. What has been the response?
What do you see so far? I mean, there's been cancellations, there's been deportations, there's been connotations, there's been many shins, all
we'll over. Come to the deportation.
Yeah, but you're asking me, and I'm trying to let you know that, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing all of these things around what I'm doing. Now you can look at what I'm doing as the topic. This is me becoming a leader of a nation so I can create jobs and I can create economic prosperity for people. Okay, that's one thing. And the things that surrounds it, it's all the other things that you might want to talk about. So that's what I see.
But I mean, I didn't mean ask in terms of the forces, for the want of a better word, that you think are attacking you. Do you think you're getting a positive feedback?
I think
You say you're fighting for the youth.
I think it's a positive feedback for me. I think that the things that people thought that it would pull me down are the same weaknesses that has made me realize where I need to find strength. So I don't know how other people are perceiving it, but for me, this moment is very historic. You know that.
Guys, well, I don't know if you know about this thing, but this whole thing started when this guy had was around with a mask person that people didn't know who that person was and stuff like that. So it being historic, history is history. It's you achieving something doesn't make it historic. It becomes historic when it affects a lot of people and when it needs to be noted or documented so the next generation will know about it. This won't be documented because it's not that important to Ghanaians and it's not that significant to Ghanaians, so this won't be documented. So this is not historic. I'm just trying to clear that part. It's not historic, but it's important to him and to just to him because we haven't seen his political impact yet because nothing has been done so far by him or his party. So yeah.
From where I came from, that young man that just wanted to make something to put it on the table to feed my mom or my family. Now I'm having to be interrogated by a nation and to find out what I can do to help. For me, I see this as an achievement. I see it as a step forward. And I also see it as, I've sparked something that the youth and the people who are coming are also going to repeat it. They would like to move like this. For instance, I saw someone sent me something in GIS, a kid trying to, become some leader in the school. Mm-hmm. And they also put on a mask and they had their people behind them. So I'm happy that even the youth.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So he had this whole campaign, and because he's heard someone has tried to copy him, why is it a kid in GIS? GIS is like an international school for kids, and someone is imitating. Mind you, his children attend that school, by the way. And if someone in that school, a kid is trying to imitate you, that tells you how, well,
are beginning to adopt this anonymous practice of.
he made mention of a word anonymous. So if you guys have watched the Vendetta movie where there was marks that the anonymous people used. So I think that's where this whole mask thing comes from. That's why he's using the word anonymous. Because anonymous, the hacking group, they also use that mask. But he had added some more African twist to it. So it's the anonymous thing here, trying to be anonymous and these kind of anonymous things, they come with the sense of terrorism, like not being terrorists, but like outcast or outliers. You get it? Who want to bring change, like they want to break legal means to be able to bring change. Like that's how, because when you watch the Vendetta movie, that's what the guy did, and that's what Anonymous also does. Like they break into people's privacy and be able to like get information that they know is like those people are bad actors actually. So that kind of thing. If you bring that whole anonymous thing, and most Africans don't know about anonymous or vendetta or that kind of thing. So when you bring this kind, it's a different connotation altogether.
Showing the world that you need to find me.
Okay, now the same young people or youth that you say that you're fighting for, some of them have said that you're not fit to be president. What they call, is a very eccentric lifestyle, outlandish attires. They think that does not even make you fit to be president. They think that the president of Ghana must be mainstream and modest in their appearance. How do you respond to that?
I think this question is understandable because most Ghanaians, even after all these years, all the bad things that J.J. Rawlings has done, who is a former president of Ghana, Ghanaians still admire him because he was that he was that personal with Ghanaians. He would go into the gutters, clean the gutters. He would go to the farms, weed with everyone. He would go to the railways, help them lay down the rail tracks and all that. Like he was a military man, so he had that thing in him. He was with the people. You get it. But when you show us that you have tigers and lions, how many Ghanaians can even afford to own a cat? They can't even afford 3 square meals. But you have a lion that you feed meat to. Most Ghanaians can't even afford the kind of food your lions eat. Like you don't represent the normal Ghanaian. That's my thought. He doesn't represent the average Ghanaian. So maybe he should work on such a thing, like working on his PR to kind of fix that part.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to answer your question, but I want to ask you, what do you think?
It's not about me.
Because you're part of the youth as
It's
well.
not about me.
Okay, because you were saying it with like you were a part of it. So I think that some people would say things like this. Yes, I have a brandish lifestyle that is very eccentric. And
I like the fact that he didn't try and say his lifestyle is it outlandish and all that. He didn't try and defend himself. Came clean and said, "Look, that's how I am. I have that lifestyle." That's a good thing.
enigmatic. But the question is it about what I wear or is about what I am ready to give?
This takes us back to the initial question, man. It's not about the message, it's about the messenger. We look at the messenger first before we look at the message. You get it? It's like you get it a spam email. Do you open the email to see what kind of email it is, or you just see it in the spam and you know that nah, this is a spam. I don't even want to see the message. You get it? I guess we look at the messenger first before we look at the message.
About the knowledge, the wisdom, the message that I'm transcending into this nation that will help some other youth. Is it
Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, he has good intentions for Ghanaians. Yeah, this message, I haven't heard his whole message, but it looks like he has a message. But the messenger, man, the messenger, it will take time for him to clear that thought out of Ghanaians.
am I doing that and I'm not able to do anything in the terms of achieving? No. And I also understand that all will not be positive. Some will be negative and some will be positive. Everybody is talked about. Trump is talked about. Kwame Nkrumah is talked about. You're not going to get everything positive. So I'm not worried about them. But I also believe that this same youth, some of them are confused because of the current situation of our national governance. Some of them have been let down so many times. Some of them have even given their thumb and sold their soul in exchange of money just to vote for someone that they don't know what they're going to do for them. Some of them are being paid just so they can come and say stuff.
I don't think this is a youth. It's like Ghanaian. We sell our votes. Our votes are for sale. Our votes are for sale. So it's not the youth. Okay, that's what we do. Ghanaians prefer. So the only thing that can cause violence in Ghana is not this Boko Haram stuff. It's politics and religion. That's the only thing that can cause chaos in this country. But those are the things that people are very intimate about. It's more people are very intimate in those areas than any other thing. In the West America and stuff. They are not that religious, so they don't really care about these Africans, even though Christianity was imposed on us and all that, or religion was imposed on us. We are more religious than even the Catholics or those who follow religion and Christianity to America.
On national television or on social media. Are we doing the right thing as a nation? No. That's not fair. Okay? You don't have to take money from someone to destroy someone. That means you're very close to killing. You will one day grow into that. We need to be real with ourselves as people. And you might not like what I wear, but do you like what I do? You have to like something and you have to dislike something. But just
I don't think we need to like anything that you do. If someone doesn't like you, the person that doesn't like you, there shouldn't be something. If someone doesn't like you, he doesn't like me. I don't like somebody, the musician. And I don't like him. Yes, I listened to a few of his songs that feature Black Sheriff and all that, but I'm not a fan of his. I don't care what he smokes, what he wears. There's nothing about him that I like, and that's just how I am, man. And so there's if someone doesn't like, they just don't like you. I don't like Barcelona, no matter how Barcelona does, even if they play with aliens, I don't like them. There's nothing good about Barcelona for me. So like that's how it is. If someone doesn't like, they don't like you. So I don't think you should fault them for not liking you, cause it's how they are, man.
Just don't try to crush everything around you. Because, I might look like I'm being crushed, but I'm not the one to be destroyed.
You feel like you're being crushed?
No, I said I might look like.
But you feel like you're being crushed?
I don't. That's what I said. I might look like I'm being crushed, but I'm not here to be destroyed.
I don't think anyone said he's being crushed, cause he doesn't look crushed, cause he's doing his thing, man.
Don't think if I was going to be, you will be the lucky one to do so. Because I've come a long way. And I've met a lot of people on the way. Good people, bad people, two-faced people, all sort of people. I've enjoyed. I've learned from the greatest mistakes of other people. And the worst things about people have taught me how to make myself become the best in what I do. So I don't have an issue with what people say about me, more so than what I can do to contribute to the success of society.
Do you feel like since you announced your presidential bid, there are people out there to get you? People want to pull you down. They don't want you to succeed. Are you seeing any evidence of that?
Why? I know. I hear a lot of that. But why do you people think?
Do you see that? Do you see people come at you? Do you see the evidence of people just trying to make sure that they pull you down?
No, I don't. I don't. If anything, I feel like people are trying to defend themselves, and I don't see me being the attacker here. So it makes me sit back and ask myself, are these people scared? Are these people worried? Are these people jealous? But any of the three, I don't mind. It's people. They have the right to feel the way they want to feel, to look the way they want to look, and to say what they want to say. In fact, this country has gone beyond freedom of speech when you go on social media. It's like people are really saying whatever they want to say without even proof. They just say it, So it's the old Ghana, but we're here to make the new Ghana. It doesn't get to you. No, it doesn't. I won't be here. I'm very strong in the spirit. I'm very courageous in the spirit.
I think people saying what they want and what they think on social media is the definition of free speech. Free speech is not a Ghanaian thing, it's a global thing. So if people are online saying things about you that are not good, since he says it doesn't affect him, that's cool. But he's capping. Um, yeah, he is definitely capping, man. Like when people you don't know say things about you, and it's not like they say it and it comes to you, you willingly go and see it. You open your phone app, go to willingly open notification and you see it. Yeah, that hurts. You are like, why did I even open this notification? That definitely hurts. It doesn't matter who you are, and yeah.
And these things, I will not trade it for money. I will not trade it for fame. I will not trade it for anything. I have to be courageous. I have to be able to stand up to people. People might not be able to stand up to me because I keep going. I keep coming. Like the mask has been on. The mask is still off. And I'm still going. Nothing is pulling me back.
Okay. Now, let's get into your presidential bid properly. What would you do? Because just a while ago, you said that, it's not fair how things have been going in the country. What would you do so differently from the NPP and NDC that we have experienced since the Fourth Republic? And whilst you're that, I want to know 5 of your major policy platforms.
Okay, so you asked 2 questions.
Yes.
I will start from the first one. The second one, I'm probably not ready to share all my policies with the country now. And I think that they will give me my time to bring all that policies, and then they will look at it, and then, if they have any questions, they can do so. But the first one, what would I do that is so different compared to what is already happening? Okay.
think what Ghanaians want to hear you say inside the question, tell us you are going to reduce corruption. Not eliminate it, but reduce it. We are Ghanaians. We know you can't change our lifestyle. Our lifestyle, corruption is part of our DNA and our culture. You can't change it. No matter how the school you tell us to go, no matter the education you give us, we can't change it. So if you can reduce it, that's the best thing you can do for Ghanaians. Not every aspect of the Ghanaian economy should be corrupt. Should have 100% corruption. That's all you can tell us.
Okay. The country's foundation is based on the most youth that exists in the country. That is our biggest part of our population. If we are not able to create jobs amongst these people, we would not have an economy running, because it means that most part of the country would be diffused and would have no jobs and would have no aim. So my first concentration is, how do I change that narrative? How do I create a platform that will start to create jobs from the different regions in this country that have been left redundant? Because all of these regions in Ghana are redundant, but we keep forgetting that part of the people that
I think I won't say the regions in Ghana are redundant. What does it mean by they're redundant? It means there are no jobs there or something. Does it know the number of companies in Accra? Or unless you say in aside Accra and Kumasi, because redundancy means there's nothing going on there, is it? You can correct me if I'm right. I'm wrong. I feel like redundant means they've been left, without being attended to.
that exist in these regions are also part of the entire population of the country. And their activeness, what they have to do, it's all going to be the contribution that will give us a blossom economy, a booming economy. We need to first of all make sure that these regions, what are their values? What do they have? What resources do they have on the ground? And what can we build as plants and platforms, factories that will create jobs? And I'm talking of jobs that will last people for 20 years, not jobs that you have it for 6 months and there's no more job.
So are you talking about industrialization?
Yes, I am talking about industrialization.
Will you juxtapose that to what this current government promised that they were going to do with the one district, one factory? Trying to find out what is viable in every constituency, to have a factory on and then put a factory there.
That was a promise. There's a big difference in promising people and implementing what you say. The implementation is more important. And as you're going to see in our campaign, we would be doing a lot that we're saying whilst we're campaigning.
The thing about this part is that, this man is a businessman, yeah. He's a business person. So business people always look for the profitable. They do the cost benefit, the cost analysis or cost benefit analysis, that kind of thing. So if he says he's going to do such a thing, I think it's a good thing, because he is a businessman, and when he comes in, he's always going to be looking at it in terms of cost benefit. So if he sees that it's going to benefit the country, I'm sure he's going to execute it or find a way to implement it. But I feel like he's going to have a lot of pushback with his age, and his inexperience in the political sphere. Look, we can't compare him to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump has been a media celebrity since the 80s, the 90s, and stuff like that. So when he became president, he wasn't a new face. Most Ghanaians didn't know this guy until he started running for president. Like, we people online or on social media might have known him, but most Ghanaians didn't know him before that. So it's going to be really difficult for him.
We're not going to promise anyone. I'm not here to promise anybody, because I cannot come and give you $1 million for your health or for your education, that I'm promising that I'm going to do this when I know I'm coming for a country that is already highly in debt. Okay? We already have bills to pay. And then it takes someone that knows how to manage the funds, how to invest the funds, how to develop what the investment from the funds and then the returns, and how to reimburse. This is...
As I said, he's a businessman. He's always going to do the cost-benefit analysis, no matter what. That's what he's actually doing right now.
A skill that at least I have. I can boldly say that there are some already self-made politicians who are out there that I can stand in front of them and say to them that, yes, I do have skills that you don't have. I have dealt with people. I have brought people together.
The thing that I think he's failing to understand is politicians are not the smartest people in any room because they are politicians. They are politicians, and that's where we have technocrats who do the executions for them because they have the technical skill. No matter how smart or intelligent he is, a politician can put together 10 people who are smart, who can combine their heads and will be smarter than him. That's what he's failing to realize, that politicians don't need to be the smartest people in the room. They don't need to have all the experience. They just need to have power, need to have the power to make things happen. You have the knowledge, you can't make things happen. But a politician has power, so they will make it happen. That's what maybe Freedom Jacob or Nana Kwame doesn't know or hasn't understood yet.
Hired them, I have managed them, I have put them together and execute projects, not a project, but projects. So I already have a template, and I think that template should be shared. At least the youth of Ghana, everybody, myself and the kids, my kids and other people's kids, they should know this template. They should know that these are the things that you do to be able to become successful. And then when you become successful,
I agree that this template should be shared here, but one thing we also need to know is that most Ghanaians won't have the same starting as he did. Most Ghanaians won't have a rich dad or stepdad or rich dad to start with. Most Ghanaians won't go and live in the UK in their teens. Most Ghanaians won't have anyone to give them a loan. Like, all these things are not things that a blueprint that 99% of Ghanaians can follow. You get it?
Successful. These are the rules, these are the regulations and the conditions to manage your success. So for me, if I can create 1 million workers and 100,000 entrepreneurs, nobody would have to tell me from the Western world that you have a booming economy. Automatically, they will see it. And these are things that are very...
They seeing it, that's why they are telling you. I thought he would say automatically I would know.
Doable, is workable. I don't think, we need to be blindfolded with promises that is going to happen and it doesn't happen. And the only reason why I'm standing here today is because I'm 40 plus. But in the 40 years of us practicing democracy and thinking that, the government and the presidents and the leaders and the ministers are going to move the nation forward, it hasn't happened. So I realized that, no, maybe they don't have what it takes.
I think he's also getting a lot wrong. It's not like it hasn't happened. It's happening at a very slow pace. I think that's what it is. It's happening at a very slower pace than we expected or than our forefathers expected it to be, because Ghana was very promising, but the corruption and stuff has made things that slowed down our development. That is, it's not like it's not happening, it's very slow. Ghana is America to Nigerians, man. Ghana is America to most West African countries, man. Yeah, so like it just hasn't been at the rate that we wanted, but it's there. It's coming up. You get it? I'm not trying to shade my Nigeria. I'm like, come on, one city is like 6 times of the naira. Like, then as to Ghana to the US is like what 12 times. So if a Nigerian can come to Ghana and make 100 Ghana cedis, that's like 600 Ghana cedis in Nigeria money. So that's also good for them.
Maybe we do as a nation. Maybe the young people that we're going to give them that opportunity will start to create businesses, start to create more employment. Because you see, when you make profits, everything becomes normal. It's sanity. Anything else you dream of is vanity. It doesn't exist. But the minute you make profit, you wake up. Even a crazy man, When you tell them that bring me these plastic bottles and I'll give you 10 cedis, bring me 10 of them. He will wake up in the morning and walk the whole Accra looking for those plastics just to come and get the 10 cedis. So we need to find a way to create wealth amongst our people. For them, we should cut the gossip. And
I think he's doing a huge disservice to the people around him. But I don't think people around him have a lot of money like he does. Because there are people who work for him. Why doesn't he start with them? Why doesn't he start? Maybe he doesn't want to start with them. He wants to do it on a global scale, on a national level. That's fine. But she just said something. We should cut the gossip.
People, for them, we should cut the gossip and change the topic and make the topic become employment.
Cut the gossip. Yes, the gossip. It's important to cut the gossip because I've heard most rich people say people gossip, their own workers gossip about them and stuff like that. If their work is going on well and you are giving them money that they deserve, no one will gossip. Everyone will focus on their work, man. That's my thought.
Tech world stuck in the past? It's time you join IU.
Entrepreneurship, empowerment, wealth building, things that we will be clapped for, things that will be embraced.
But these are all things that, past governments have promised. And unfortunately, they have not been able to fulfill it to the extent that we want it. And I'm asking you again, how different is yours going to be in realizing these things, especially on employment?
And I'm answering you again, like I just did, that this is the way I'm doing it. I am not promising you. I am telling you that this is what needs to be done, and this is what we're doing. That is the answer. The answer to your question is that I'm not coming to tell you that I'll make everybody become a millionaire. I am giving you a solution to a problem that is so easy, but we've been running around just because of people's personal interest, that I am either on the left or I'm either on the right. And so, because of that, even if it's wrong, I have to go with it. But the whole nation is suffering from that. No, I am in the middle, and I'm for the neutral people. And I think that this is what we need. We can't live in a country when 80% of the people are not working. They're not working because they don't want to work, because the jobs are not created.
That's cap. That's cap. No way the country has 80% unemployment. Why? 80%, man. Why? How can there be 80% unemployment in the country, man? Unless maybe he's giving a different scenario. That's a cap, man. No way, man.
But these neutral people that you represent, do you think they can get you to power?
Well, I don't just think that it will be the neutral people that will get me to power. I think it would take the nation to decide that, is he going the right way? Could he make a difference? Or do we want to change? But this, I'm not going to just base it on a particular audience who are probably followers for the new force. I will leave it to the nation. I think that the time has come. People are looking for a change. People want to see a difference. And I believe that also we've had a lot of older generation leading the country, and we've expected some things like you're saying that hasn't happened. So what is wrong giving the younger generation a chance to also try and see if it can become better?
I see what the point is trying to make, whereby there are a lot of older aged people leading the country. Like you can see our current president is about 70 something, and the guy can barely stand without sleeping. Anywhere he goes, he's sleeping. Like, I don't know why we keep voting for these old aged people to lead us. America to say, like, most of the leaders are old. And I think it's the system they put in place for themselves. Like, there's a level of succession that they put in place for themselves that you can't, like, we the youth, we are not single-minded. The only time we have one mind is when there's a celebrity involved. That's good. The only time we can gang up against each other. And when it comes to political or economic issues or things that benefit us in the long run, we are always divided, and it's the same youth that are going to sabotage each other to prevent the other person from going up the ranks. That's just my thoughts, though. So we are always going to have people older than us leading us, and we are always going to keep sabotaging ourselves as youth to make it, because we feel like we are all the same. If the old people are doing it, we are also going to do it. And like that's why the circle remains. That's why I think.
There's
Okay.
nothing wrong with that.
On unemployment, have you heard of the former president's 24-hour economy policy that is also geared towards employment? Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. And what's your question about?
What are your thoughts on it?
That is his addressing. He's addressing people that I will create a 24-hour economy. I am not here to say I'm against it or I support it.
Do you think that it's a good idea?
I am answering your question. You asked me a question, so I wanted to answer it. So I'm not saying I'm against it, and I'm not saying I support it, because I really don't understand what a 24-hour economy truly means. But one thing that I know for sure is that we need an economic balance. There is no balance in our economy. There are some people right at the top, and there are so many at the bottom. So we don't have.
Is that what you mean by economic balance? So economic imbalance is when it's like now the fact that there are a lot of rich people means there's an imbalance. So yeah, I think maybe that's what it's trying to say. So a balance means everyone will be equally rich. Even the West will be able to achieve that. Good luck, Ghana.
Have anything in the middle to hold the structure. So I don't know if 24-hour economy is going to bring that middle balance, but we need that to have a sustainable economy. Okay, and we are talking about economic revolution here. What is a country when they take all their funds that controls the economy into another man's country to buy their product and bring it back to their country and sell it times 10 and take the money and go back and give it to them? When we can just manufacture the same things that we're going to buy from them here.
I think another thing probably is related to that it's not that easy. It's not that you are fast than when it's the we sabotage all of the government. Sabotage all of it. Ghana is yet to enter the industrial revolution. We are not there yet. Maybe we are still working on it. It's not that easy. If it was easy, and there's another thing about us Ghanaians that we do very boring. Americans do everyone else call it what, exotic. We all prefer exotic or boring stuff. So, man, good luck. Good luck. Stop the importation of Mercedes Benz. Good luck with that because Ghanaians love that car and BMWs and Toyotas and stuff like that. Good luck.
And cut all that journey, all that taxes, and all that selling times 10, and taking away the range of affordability away. You know, we take this decision. Overnight, our economy is shaping up. So for me, like I said, it's not about the political jargons and the promises and all of that. It's about a vision and implementing the vision. And I've done it in many other forms. And that is my track record. You can see it. And it's not like in somewhere in Nsawam where you don't want to drive to see it. It's in the middle of the city. It's in the middle of the country. You can see my work. And I had to put people together. It was a vision. To implement it, it took a lot. You have to follow it. You have to supervise it. You have to monitor it. And you have to make sure the execution plan is controlled by you. So I am very, very excited to see me sitting in front of 16 cabinets of ministers where I have to deal with the nation and I have to ask anyone to take care of a region. If that person will be given a KPI, if he's not able to reach the KPI, oh yeah, you're gone.
This business people think like every country is a business, man. The thing about this, I haven't been a president before, but I am a business or I was a business student in the university. And the thing is that you can't give a region a KPI, man. The only profitable part, the most profitable part of every region is their revenue mobilization unit. Every part is just taking money from you. So I don't know what KPIs you are going to give them that word. they should build. If the KPI has to do with execution, okay, execute this. Okay, that's fine. So no profit. Yeah, no profit. Okay, that's fine. But in business, KPI has to do with performance. Performance means like making things work, like letting things work. So being president is going to be hard for this guy, but because businessmen like to spend and reap the benefit, but he's going to be faced with the hard truth of spending and not reaping the benefit because it's going into the citizens' pockets, and like that's how a country is run.
Let's find another person. There are many young people out there who have energy, who have courage, who have knowledge, and we'll try them until we keep reaching our KIPs. I am very excited to see myself having
KPIs, not KIPs.
state funds.
KPI means key performance indicator. It's a business or market. It's a marketing or business test that is used to measure performance. So whether how good or bad certain activities performing in your marketing plan or your business endeavors, they are measured by your KPI. So let's say you tell us that look, within this month I'm going to make this amount of profit, I'm going to sell this amount. Those are like your KPIs. So when you're able to do them, then with the performance that perform.
Because my little funds, I've been able to turn it into wealth. So I'm excited to see the state funds. But am I going to turn the state funds into some judgment debt and let it be taken away? Am I going to go and borrow 3 billion and then start paying people that I've given contracts to do some road, that the road is not finished, and this and that and that? Or am I going to put it into national investment? How to expand my energy? How to expand that? How to expand my production? How to expand my manufacturing force? How to expand my exportation power? You know, so I can be continentally recognized. Now, let's take a situation like maybe, or let's take, for instance, the African free trade.
Guys, permit me, I'm skipping to the latter part of the video because it's looking very long. And I talk very slow, so it makes the video long. Like, bear with me, yeah.
Go party. Okay? That is what you need to understand. So I'm very, very not disappointed, but I'm sorry that all of you bloggers and interviewers and presenters couldn't tell the difference between a movement and a political party and started saying we brought outsiders to become a part of politics. No, it's a movement. And besides that, we tried so many times by bringing people like yourself. I mean, look at you. If Sawa Bruni was the one reporting this, it would have been perfect. But guess what? If I came to you, you already have ties.
Did you come to me?
No, I'm coming. I'm trying to tell you something. If I came to you, you have ties already.
You don't know that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not vying for that position,
Okay,
but I'm saying that you cannot say that for a fact.
Okay, then
Yeah.
that gives me the opportunity to invite you now. But let's get
To
back
do what?
To do
To be your
anything. You
spokesperson.
can be a spokesperson. You can.
Well, this guy is putting this idiot. Join his company. They want us want to join his company, but you can't deny it on national TV.
Be a reporter, you can support the movement. But as we all know, you're definitely going to say no. So that's
I thought we're friends.
Please, let me finish. I have asked you, right? And I hope that you respond because I'm actually in front of a nation. Now back to the question, okay? So people were not ready. They were scared. You know, we would talk about it, but they don't show up. So we met this girl, you know, at a charity event, and then she visited us. And then realized that the movement has a good cause. She's a presenter. In fact, she was working here with you guys, of course, you know, so she's a mate of you guys already. You know her very well. I'm not the one that introduced her to you. I did not go and bring her from Belgium to do politics again. I've corrected all of you. We realized that.
Okay, right. Just finish the points. Yes.
We realized that she had the courage.
So this whole part has to do with their PR person, their spokesperson, who is a Belgium national with no Ghanaian citizenship, and she is a PR person. And the government had to silence her by deporting her. The government had to deport her because said she was leaving. resident permit and stuff like that. That's what he's talking about.
Courage to volunteer to be the reporter. So a spokesperson is not necessarily even a politician. A spokesperson is a reporter that represents an entity. Okay, and that's all it is. Now, as the government deciding to go after 3 years of living here and not finding out that she had a student visa that is fake and all of this after she spoke, that one is between the government and her. Okay?
But you mentioned the New Force is not a political party. It's not a registered political party. It is a movement. But what is that movement for? Is it not a political movement because you are here as the New Force? You said you are the man behind them as the New Force and you want to be president. That is dabbling in politics. So will anybody be wrong to describe the New Force, even though it's not a registered political party, as a political movement?
Politics is a religion. It's what people believe in. But in the politics, there are different type of leaders.
Yes.
You have ministerial leaders.
Yes.
Ideology. I studied this a lot. It's not a religion. It's a group of people who have the religion. Yeah. It's not a religion. I don't go and be in Google. It's a waste of my time.
You have presidential leaders. You have all type of different leaders. I have come.
So it's the people with one ideology and they have a leader who becomes their flag bearer or who leads the whole idea, execution of the idea.
As a presidential aspirant, but I'm a risen leader. I'm just not a registered politician.
Yes.
Period.
But you are doubling in the country's politics. You want to lead this country. And that is political.
I am changing the narrative of the existing political regime that is embedded on us in the constitution.
You are not in a position to change the narrative at this point. You are not able to change the narrative. We already know who a politician is and what you are doing is politics. Changing the narrative. You said that that's fine. That's fine. But we know who a politician is. What you are doing is political.
Of our foreign affairs, which has become the biggest tragedy of this country and African countries. Our biggest tragedy is the foreign policy that dictates our political future, principles, and chronicles that is supposed to take care of a nation. Being a president doesn't mean that you should just be sat in a car or sit in a car and be driven around to go and give speeches with motorbikes and all of that. Being a president means you and your government, you and your cabinet and the parliament have to see to it that the nation is being built and the country is being developed. That is your job. Now you have to give room to the private sector. You have to partner with people. You have to create that wealth. You have to build that wealth. You have to develop, make all these developments happen in your country.
Guys, at this point, I want to wrap up the video. I think we get the message he's trying to do, is trying to give, and I wish they asked him a lot more personal questions, but they didn't. So when they just wanted to answer some questions that people asked them online. I'm sure in the next reaction video we'll get his reaction. We'll do a reaction when he was on Captain Smart. I think he asked him a lot of personal questions. We'll react to that and then I'll let you know. So guys, catch you in the next one. Bye.